Moving on to imaginary objects, first we're going to see a scene by Irina, Homework. And next one is Ali presenting the scene Cookie Jar. Thank you. And the next scene is going to be presented by Ander, and it's called Ironing. Is created by Sophie, and it's called The Basketball. And the next scene is presented by Sasha, and it's called Computer Work. And next is going to be Annika with Waiting for the Bus.
Everybody. Next we're going to see some of our mask work, which I'm really excited for you guys to see. The thing about mask work is that it's really different from just the basics that we got to teach. The thing with masks is as soon as you put that mask on, the basic medium of the facial expressions that we would normally be promoting when we're teaching are gone. So what they have to use now is their body language, how they turn their head, all the different movements express what they're seeing and what they're feeling instead of their facial expressions. So it's another added level that we had to work on. And something that was really interesting that we got to work with, we had a few masks that we got to work with at first, but eventually they got to pick a poem that they wanted to work with. And from that poem, they designed and created their own masks specifically for that scene. So what you're going to see is some really interesting work because the objects or the masks that they're working with are specifically designed for what they're going to show you. And I hope you enjoy our mask work. Thank you.
I'm Sophie, and I'll be presenting Market Square by Alexander Milne. I had a penny, a bright new penny, and I took my penny to the market square. I wanted a rabbit, a little brown rabbit. So I looked for my rabbit most everywhere. I went to the stall where they sold sweet lavender. Woke up, a penny for a bunch of lavender. You got a rabbit because I don't want lavender. But they hadn't got a rabbit not anywhere there. I had a penny. And another penny. And I took the pennies to the market square. I wanted a rabbit, a little baby rabbit. So I looked for my rabbit most everywhere. I went to the stall where they sold fresh mackerel. Woke up, 10 pence for fresh caught mackerel. Well, you got a rabbit because I don't like mackerel. But they hadn't got a rabbit not anywhere there. I had a sixpence, a little white sixpence, and I took it in my hand to the market square. I wanted a rabbit. I do like rabbits, and I looked for my rabbit most everywhere. I went to the stall where they sold fine saucepans. Woke up, 6 pence for a fine saucepan. Have you got a rabbit because I've got 2 saucepans? But they hadn't got a rabbit not anywhere there. I had nothing. I hadn't got nothing. So I walked on the old common, the old common. And then I saw rabbits most everywhere. So I'm sorry for the people who sell fine saucepans. I'm sorry for the people who sell fresh mackerel. And I'm sorry for the people who sell sweet lavender because they hadn't got a rabbit not anywhere there.
Today I will be presenting you My Shadow by Robert Louis Stevenson. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, but what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from his heel up to his head, and I see him jump before me as I jump into my bed. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow. Not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. He sometimes shoots up taller than an Indian rubber ball, but sometimes gets so small that there's none of him at all. He hasn't got a notion of how children ought to play and can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He sticks so close beside me. He's a coward, you can see. I'd sink shame to stick to Nursey as that shadow sticks to me. One morning very early, before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. But my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepyhead, stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. My name is Allie, and I'll be presenting The Land of the Bumblebee by Spike Milligan. In the land of the Bumblebee, there are people red, white, and blue. They never blow noses or ever wear clothes. What a sensible thing to do. In the land of the Bumblebee, you can buy them at the zoo. They give away foxes in little pink boxes and bottles of dandelion stew. In the land of the Bumblebee, you never see a new, but thousands of cats wear trousers and hats made out of pumpkin and pelican glue. Oh, the Bumblebee, that's a place for me and you. So hurry, let's run. The train is leaving at 1 for the land of the Bumblebee.
Marina, and I'll be presenting The Dormouse and the Doctor by Alexander Milne. There once was a dormouse who lived in a bed of delphiniums blue and geraniums red. All day long he had a wonderful view of delphiniums blue and geraniums red. A doctor came hurrying round and he said, "Tut, tut, I'm sorry to find you in bed. Just say 99 while I look at your chest. Don't you feel the chrysanthemums answer the best?" The dormouse lay there and gazed at the view of geraniums red and delphiniums blue. And when he said 99, and he tried, and much was answering things that he knew were geraniums red and delphiniums blue. The doctor stood frowning and shaking his head, and took up his sign against the cat and said, "What the patient requires is change," and he went to see some chrysanthemums cuttings from cat. The dormouse lay there and he gazed at the view of geraniums red and delphiniums blue, and he knew there was nothing he wanted instead of delphiniums blue and geraniums red. The doctor came back, and to show what he meant, he brought some chrysanthemum cuttings from cat. "Now these," he remarked, "give a much better view than geraniums red and delphiniums blue." They took up their spades and they dug up the bed of delphiniums blue and geraniums red and planted chrysanthemums yellow and white. "And now," said the doctor, "we'll soon have you right." The dormouse lay there with his paws to his eyes and imagined himself such a pleasant surprise. I'll pretend the chrysanthemums turned to a bed of delphiniums blue and geraniums red. The doctor next morning was rubbing his hands and saying, "There's nobody quite understands these cases I do. The cure has begun. How sweet the chrysanthemums look in the sun." The dormouse lay happy, his eyes were so tight. He could see no chrysanthemums yellow or white, and all that he felt at the back of his head were delphiniums blue and geraniums red.
Ander, The Snail by William Cowper. To grass or leaf or fruit or wall, the snail sticks close nor fears to fall, as if he grew there, house and all together. Within his house secure he hides, when danger imminent betides, of storm or other harm besides of weather. Give but his horns the slightest touch, his self-collecting power is such, he shrinks into his house with much displeasure. Where'er he dwells alone, except himself has chattels none, well satisfied to be his own whole treasure. Thus hermit-like his life he leads, nor partner of his banquet needs. And if he meets one, only feeds the faster. Who seeks him must be worse than blind. He and his house are so combined. If finding it, he fails to find its master.
Hi, my name is Sash, and I'll be presenting Forgiven by Alexander Milne. I found a little beetle, and so Beetle was his name. I called him Alexander, and he answered just the same. I put him in a natural and kept him all the day. And Natty left my beetle. Yes, Natty left my beetle. She went and left my beetle. Beetle ran away. Oh! She said she didn't mean it. Not that I ever said she did. She said she wanted matches and she just took off the lid. She said that she was sorry, but it's difficult to catch an excited sort of beetle you mistaken for a match. She said Fox and write beetle on the lid. We looked at all the sort of places where a beetle might be near, and we made the sort of noises that a beetle likes to hear. And then I saw sort of something, and I gave a sort of shout, a beetle house, and Alexander Beetle coming out. It was Alexander Beetle, as certain as can be, and he had the sort of look as if he knew it must be me. He had this sort of look as if he had to say, I'm really, really sorry that I tried to run away. And Nanny's sorry too, for you know what she did. And she's writing Alexander very blankly on the lid. So Nanny and me are friends, but it's difficult to catch. An excited sort of Alexandrian mistaken for a match.
The next piece that will be presented to you is something that has often been associated with theater, which is stage combat. Often we see actors and characters that are being played on stage, they draw their swords, and then the battle begins.